That's not right.
What's not right?
This Titan. Why isn't it in its real form?
You noticed?
What do you mean?
That isn't the original form of the Tornan Titan. In ancient times, the Tornan Titan held awesome power. Torna made use of that power to dominate all rest for 1,000 years. But the power was shut away in the reign of Electos I. Since then, the Titan has looked like this. See that glowing sphere in the castle tower? That forms the seal.
Is that what Malos is aiming for?
Why would he do that? Wouldn't it be a threat to him too?
Truthfully, I don't know myself. But in any case, if he makes a move for it, it is clear what we must do.
Agreed.
You can see the palace in the distance. We should head there first. Offer our report to His Majesty.
This has got to be one of the most relaxing area themes out of like any game ever. Like the nighttime version of this theme especially that we're listening to right now. Absolutely incredible. This is the kind of thing that I could listen to on repeat for, I don't want to say forever, but for quite some time. And I have before. I'm discovering all the locations. But let's make our way to the palace here first. What are you guys doing? Let's raise our staves into the air. That's right, troops. You better raise those staves real good. Higher! Higher!
Ah, this is new.
Viridian Gate.
This place would make a perfect base.
Are we gonna make it to the Viridian Gym? Maybe fight Lieutenant Surge? And his Raichu? Aureus Palace Guard. Lord Adam, and your Majesty Emperor Hugo. I expect there must be some sort of emergency. Christopher Malthus is also gracing us with his presence. Please wait here. I'll inform the king you've arrived.
Malos aims for the seal?
Yes. He draws ever closer to the capital, leaving destruction in his wake. Our path here was littered with the wounds of his procession, my lord.
So, the Quester's report was true. Noble Hugo. At this time of grave peril, you have afforded us your trusty aid. Your due will be our eternal thanks.
I'm scarcely worthy of it, your majesty. As the Titans breathe, I merely followed Prince Adam against the peril we face. In truth, it is to him that your kind praise is due.
Ah, the trust of the dread Ardainian throne. 'Tis a much valued gift to our young scion of Ileta. Mark it well. It gladdens me.
Your most noble honors pierce my unworthy heart, my lord.
Begging your pardon, Lord, would that honor were the only currency in this grave business. An armed band transgressed the sacred boundaries of the capital without regal assent. The act merits bitter punishment.
Suppose you that our soldiers can subdue Malos alone?
I don't...
Indeed. The army of resistance fearlessly dashes to our nation's aid. They tremble not in the face of the mightiest of foes. To punish them is unthinkable.
Yes, but...
Zeta, what does not bend only breaks. We must suffer to Adam his just bounty. I hereby enfeoff you as Lord of Heblin.
This is too much for me, my lord. First, I must busy myself with the command of the resistance force. We can't allow Malos to take the seal. I'd be much obliged if you could grant permission for the resistance to move freely within your lands, lord.
As you wish. Brave soldiers of Torna, hear your king. Our country must make its own sacrifice to halt the terrible power of the Aegis.
Indol, too, pledges its flesh and blood to the cause. I humbly confess that it was my own lack of foresight which brought us to this pass.
My brother, or rather, my lord, what is your aim? Why give Heblin to Adam?
He has declined our offer. Perhaps our good wishes suffice.
Yet still he holds all the power. He makes allies of foreign lords without permission and gathers together a fighting force.
Zeta, my brother, hear me well. The sickened world rests heavy upon my crown. I fear too heavy for my mortal neck.
Majesty.
And this disorderly throne is more apt for one such as Adam.
Brother, you mean to set my birthright on the caitiff's shoulders?
I can finally breathe. What's wrong? Got asthma or something? It's alright. There's no need for concern. Lady Laura gets like this whenever she has to deal with formal situations. That's not ideal. You're one to talk. You've been waiting outside the whole time, just idling by yourself. That's so selfish. Speaking of people who are able to come in, why were the kids allowed in there? They just had their own chairs in like the back during the last cutscene. Thumb some slack, Laura. Minoth had a good reason not to go, especially when his least favorite individual was attending. Least favorite? Wait, you mean Amalthus, don't you? I'm sorry, and it's fine. I'm a coward, I admit it. We should endeavor to make sure that Minoth steers well clear of the Questor in the future. So, Adam, what's our next course of action? We may have warned them in time, but there's no telling when Malos might launch his attack. Indeed, we can start by taking a stroll around the city and seeing what the residents have to say. Can't be serious. Malos is virtually breathing down our necks and you want to waste time catching up? That's not what this is. We get to learn the lay of the land too, and we get an idea of the overall mood. He's right. Establishing a good rapport with their citizens will give us an edge when the time comes. Perhaps the Aegis feels she can handle the situation all on her own. Fine, whatever. You all know better than me, so go on ahead. Bunch of bullies. I'm not saying it to be mean, Mithra. We all have to make concessions, and I think even you understand that now. You've really matured, you know. Am I supposed to take that as a compliment? You should. Adam's been looking out for you this whole time. You know he's being honest. Agreed. You should take his praise at face value. Now, let's head to exploring the city. Plenty of atmosphere to soak up. Wow, I barely messed up with those lines that time. Usually I do at least once there. Hey, there's a thing. Explore Auresco, Aleta, and Gormott and resolve various people's issues to raise community to level 2. We're at that point. We made it finally to that point. So, oh, our community is at level 0. We haven't done a single side quest this time. I was gonna check how long it would take for it to get to level 2. But yeah, anyway, when I noticed that the recordings were all botched. I had originally thought almost a year ago now when I was not when I was streaming this, when I was playing this and recording it. Like, I don't want to go back and do that previous stuff. I'll just enjoy the rest of this on my own without recording it, and whenever I do eventually start covering Xenoblade Chronicles 2 content, then I'll just do this all again then. And then, on my own time, I did all the stuff that it took to raise community to level 2, and I was like, oh my goodness, I never want to do this again. So, that's when I recorded the rest. So we're now at the point in the story where the parts from here are all gonna be recorded like 8 months ago, 9 months ago, something like that. Something along those lines. Sometime in the past it was recorded. A decent jump in the past, because I didn't really want to do that all again. And then after a recording session there, and the game was like, oh, before going to the final battle, how about you get the community to level 4, which basically means do like 95% of the side quests that you can even find in the world, meaning I had to do some of the ones that I also really didn't want to do, that were like the super tedious ones. So not a fun time, you know? Not fun there at all. But for now, unless I ever decide to stream this, if I do want to spend time going around beating like all the super bosses, like beating that one unique boss there in the desert was pretty darn fun. Actually being able to do it. The full 8 orb chain attacks are super satisfying. If one day I ever do decide to like maybe start a new game plus of this and continue, then it'll probably be off of this save file, since this is the one that's actually in Xenoblade 2 here, as opposed to my actual cartridge, which I used to record the first time, which is how I'm able to have 2 save files like this, even though you can do it with like multiple profiles as well if you want. But yeah,
Now,
so
back to your regularly scheduled daytime.
Shall we keep moving?
but yeah, so the series from here is gonna be all recorded like 8 or 9 months in the past, something like that. And it'll be a blind playthrough. I won't know how it ends. Recording this right now, I know how it ends because that's all been recorded before. But at the time, it's all a blind playthrough. So yeah, this save file right here is just gonna go into purgatory, I guess, unless I ever decide to continue with doing some stuff. Like Xenoblade 2 and Torna both seem really satisfying to try to make progress in 100%. And with 2 having a bazillion blades, and then this game only having the 6 blades and the 3 drivers, it'd be so much easier to manage to potentially 100% one day and go around beating all the super bosses. So if I ever decide to do those shenanigans one day, maybe it'll be in Torna instead of Xenoblade 2. Or maybe it'll be in Xenoblade 2, since that's already a new game plus and I already have like most of the blades. Like when it comes to going around beating super bosses. If I ever tried 100% either of them, it'd probably be Torna. But we'll see what happens, I suppose. But for now, thanks for stopping by and hanging out for watching this series. Like, I know that there's probably not a whole lot of attention to the series that I just record and then upload, but it's also a nice change of pace for me. And for those who do check this out, thanks so much, because I know that most people who watch my stuff, it'll usually just be when I'm live on Twitch there. Hey look, there's the tower. I remember, you can go up this. So anyway, most people see my stuff there, and a lot of people don't see my recorded only stuff that I do. So for those who do, thanks so much, I appreciate it, because this is a breath of fresh air for me being able to record it. Sure, it's literally me talking to myself the whole time instead of like interacting with people, but sometimes that's really nice for me. Sometimes I do actually enjoy— Green barrel!
With me, treasure.
Green barrel! Sometimes it's also a nice change of pace for me. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just refreshing sometimes. So I don't know when the next time I'm gonna be doing a recorded only series is, but whew, sneaky, onto the roof I go. But yeah, that wraps it up for my actual recording. This then. I had fun. I had fun recording this. It was a good time. Good time indeed, even though the sessions were literally all over the place. Like the session before this being at least 8 months ago, you know? No, wait. No, I was thinking about before. At least 3 months ago for the last recording session. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up here. See, even I don't know what the heck is going on. But despite that, I had a good time. So thanks all who stuck by and hung out for. I mean, there's technically still more to go, but in terms of me actually recording it, I'm done. So yeah, next time we'll be all done with getting the community up to level 2, and you're gonna hear me being super mopey and like, ugh, I can't believe I had to do all those side quests to get it to level 2. And then we'll be making our way to stop Malos, pretty much. So I'm gonna save here real quick. And I'll see you then, I suppose. Hope you've been enjoying this series of Xenoblade 1 to Torna. It's definitely been my favorite series that I've done, like, on Twitch/YouTube at all. What with being able to put the stories together like this and have them progress in this unique way that I came up with to make a very unique way to experience a story. I've enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. But I've probably drawn on this outro for long enough, so I'm gonna call it here. And until next time then, I'll see ya.